음.
이거는 내려간다.
어?
음. 음.
Joe, everybody.
I had two rooms with
But one canceling.
Oh yeah, bored.
I during the win and listen to our power dialogue. I'm trying not to stress, but this delay could really hold things up.
But if the first...